Thank you for coming to speak to us.
Absolutely, it's my pleasure. With all of the gazillions of shows that you do and that you have done, I wonder if there's a constant in you that keeps you grounded before you go on stage. Do you have a ritual that you do, or do you have something that you say to yourself every single time?
Yeah, I do actually. It keeps me going all day, every day, which is just to try and be of service to whoever wants to be serviced.
by going to the Coldplay show.
Which I mean that, to go to a concert is a big commitment for most people. I know because I go to them as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I get often passes and it's still a hassle.
Right.
So people going through the traffic and all that kind of stuff, that's what I try and remind myself, and what would they want to see after all that effort. So then we just try and deliver that as much as possible.
That's such a great answer, Chris.
And it's a good way to let go of anything that you might be jumbled by yourself that particular day.
That's such a fabulous answer. I love that so much. Speaking of the power of shows and why you go to shows and what you get out of them, the last time that I saw you perform was in Los Angeles on the night of the attacks in Paris.
Oh, right. At the Belasco.
The Belasco, exactly. Yeah. And it was an incredibly powerful night. Hi, Johnny.
Hi.
He only comes in when you give a compliment.
There you go, exactly. It's so lovely to see you. Hi, I'm Jayn.
Nice to meet you,
Jayn was just saying how great you were.
And I was just going on and on and on about you, Johnny. I was saying that the last time that I saw Coldplay perform was in Los Angeles, and it happened to be the night of the attacks in Paris, the show at the Belasco.
Yes.
And I was talking about how Chris had mentioned just the power of being at a show, and I wondered, it was such a powerful night for the audience to be together, and the way that you performed, and I felt like we were all so together on that night. Have you ever been at a show on a historical night, or that had a vibe about it that you feel like you'll never forget as a fan?
Yeah, there's a few sort of life-changing nights, I think.
Mm-hmm.
The first one I had was probably seeing a spiritualized concert in London.
We saw it together, didn't we?
We did, yeah. And I think that was the first one. I was like, wow, you can really do something mind-blowing with a concert, I think.
So I remember in that concert, the first sort of 40 minutes, I was like, this is good. And then something shifted halfway through, where I was just like, I think I might have gone to heaven.
I just saw God.
And I had the same feeling when we opened for U2 one time in 2001 at their homecoming shows, right around when Bono's dad was passing away. And then I watched them from the hill, and that was one of the key moments of life. And there's been a few,
Wow.
We're so lucky we get to see a lot of people, like seeing Beyonce is always quite transformative.
Right.
Jay-Z and, lots of people.
Has there ever been someone that you knew was in the crowd? Like, for instance, when I saw you at the Fillmore in 2005, I was lucky enough to be at a table next to Robin Williams. And so I got to watch you guys. Did you meet him that night? Yeah. That's what I wanted to know. How did that go?
He was so sweet. Robin Williams was so sweet. At the film, I think he was with one of his kids.
His daughter, yeah.
He was just cool, And like everybody else, we loved him and miss him. And the few times I got to see him, he was just as sweet and kind as you'd hope.
So wonderful.
Yeah.
Did you ever know when you were performing a show that there was a certain person in the audience where you're like, oh God, that person's here, and it gave you a little case of the nerves before you went on that person was attending?
When we first came to America, there was a rumor that Jack Nicholson was at one of the concerts.
Really?
Yeah, but I swear it was just a rumor. But at the time, I think I saw him upstairs.
But that was a show that Sylvester Stallone showed up to.
Yeah.
So our first ever show in LA, Rocky showed up. That was great.
That's pretty cool.
We were basically like, wait, what? He's real? we hadn't yet understood that everybody's human, and
right.
We still kind of felt that people who came from the movies would be sort of alien.
Right.
And so to meet Sylvester Stallone, like when we were kids, that was just like.
And he was there as a fan.
He was there basically as a fan.
Yeah.
There was some other stuff going on, but yeah.
That's really cool. How did the Noel Gallagher playing on Up and Up come about? Up and Up is one of my favorite Coldplay songs of all time. It's spiritual to me, no pun intended, but the spiritualized story. But How did that collaboration come up?
Well, he was in Los Angeles, and we phoned him up and said, "Will you come into the studio?" And Chris said, "Noel's coming in, so you better get your bit sorted." So I spent about a week in London trying to finish off my part, so it was ready when Noel came in.
That's so cool.
And then we all hung out at the studio in LA, and
I think it was fun for all of us because obviously we've loved Noel and Oasis for so long.
Oh yeah.
Since we were very young, and then he's been such a older brother / champion of our band, even when it's really not very hip to be so. He's really stuck by us, and we always said, maybe the right thing will come along, and that song is very important for us in terms of what it's about, and it's the culmination of so many dreams, that song, Up and Up, and it's sort of my worldview at the moment, and maybe how we've always dreamt of sounding. And so including Noel in it and Mary Clayton and all these kids, it's supposed to be a song about togetherness and perseverance, and so somehow he just represented an important part of our life to put in the song, and also he sounds so good. His guitaring is really great.
Yeah, it is really great.
Yeah.
That song is just optimism to me. It's just 100% hopeful optimism. I absolutely love it so much.
Thank you very much. That's great to hear. That's what it is to me too.
Lovely. Thank you both so much. I'm
Is that
so
it?
happy. That's it.
It was the best interview ever.
Make sure you
Why
get that on
why do we
tape,
have to
please.
stop?
Yeah, exactly, please. I don't want to stop
All right,
either.
Jayn, thank you very much.
Oh my gosh, I'm so happy to see you. Thank you so
What
much.
is the story with this beautiful ring?
This ring was in a store, and I told the woman who owns the store, who is a delightful woman who I just met recently, I wanted something. I walked in and I said I wanted something really small and glittery and bright and shiny, and she said, "No, you don't. You want this." And I was like, "Oh my God, you are right." And so I bought this instead.
Do you like Susie and the Banshees and the Cure?
Worshipful, yeah, and the Cure are my favorite band of all time.
Of course. I
Pretty
was going
tough
to
to
hazard
sell,
that guess. So I'm very complimented that you're sweet about our music.
Oh my
Because
gosh.
we're about the furthest thing from goth at the moment that you can get.
But it's so funny because your music is so passionate and it's so real and it's so genuine and it speaks to emotions in the same way to me that The Cure and U2 and Depeche Mode and Susie
Yeah.
and bands like that do too.
I just
I think there's a lot of
through
common ground.
Oh, thank you. Well, that's because we grew up loving them and still do. I just listened to loads of Cure like 3 days ago. It's just amazing.
Absolutely amazing. And their latest tour was just absolutely mind-boggling. They did the best set list you could have ever imagined. Like, if you just hand-picked the songs you wanted to see.
And they have a lot of fans here, right?
Yeah, they had this, a ton of fans here. Yeah, they played an amazing set.
Great. Hey, thank you, Jayn.
Thank you so
Jayn.
much. This
Where are we
is so
going now?
wonderful. Thank you.
Are we
Thank
staying
you
here
so
or
much.
what's happening?
Interesting.